and we are okay with it. It's kind of fact specific. Jason, if you want to chime in with more information.
Yes, hi Adam, it's Jason here.
Yep, hi.
So if I was to develop, those two suggestions that I'm hearing from you are to A, don't use my company's contacts to promote my own IP.
Mm-hmm.
And B, so I guess if I degenerated my own leads, that would be okay?
Yeah.
And then also you mentioned about getting something in writing that it would be okay to sell something complimentary.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, that would at least stop your employer later from coming after you saying that you're doing this in violation of your non-compete, or you're doing this in violation of your duties to, only work for our business and look out for the best interests of our business. Yeah, never underestimate the power of early open communication. It's usually when people hide things that's when it comes to light, that's when people's feelings get hurt, and that's when they feel like they need to get lawyers involved.
Yeah, that answers my questions. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
Okay. Employees sign an non-disclosure non-compete. Yeah. Yes, you should probably consider having your employees sign a non-disclosure non-compete. Make sure you're in compliance with your local laws. Like I said before, California non-competes are really frowned upon. That doesn't stop employers from asking their employees to sign them. They're just not that enforceable. And is there a statute of limitations on suing someone for using your trade secrets? Yes.
You read my mind.
What's that?
You read my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking. A statute of limitations on that.
Mm-hmm. There is, and they tend to vary state by state. So I couldn't tell you offhand what it is in Illinois, but I would guess within 30 seconds of searching online, that information is findable.
Got a lot of questions on the side there. One that I particularly from Amir says, can you protect a color? Can I use a competitor's logo and color?
Yep. And we touched on that. I mean, some brands are very identifiable by color, Coca-Cola and its redness, or Intel and that light blue. What you got to do is you got to look and see what the other side has claimed in their trademark registration. You can see that right on the face of the registration, which you're able to find in that test website that I told you about. And then just make sure that your logo, even if it uses the same color, isn't going to confuse consumers. All right, any other trade secret questions before we move on to patents? Awesome. Okay, patents. This is where I spend most of my time at work. So patents protect useful inventions. Copyrights protect works of authorship, works of art, words on a page, paint on a canvas. Patents protect useful inventions. Patents they're the best way to think about it is a patent is the right to exclude others from doing something. So let's say you invent a new type of widget. If you get the patent on that, you could stop anybody in the United States from making, using, selling, offering for sale, or importing products that practice the claims of your patent. What a patent does not do is it doesn't actually give you the right to make this widget, because sometimes in order to make your widget, you would need to practice somebody else's patent. For example, you could, like, how many well, this doesn't show up very well. So an iPhone, this thing probably practices 5,000 patents. So if you had a patent on just one aspect of it, it doesn't mean that you could go out and start making and selling phones. So that, in a nutshell, is what patents do. People often get a little bit confused, like what is a patent and what are the rights associated with it? It's the right to exclude others from making, using, selling, offering for sale, or importing. Patents. Oh, here's something good. If you guys have any ideas for useful inventions, I'd highly recommend considering getting a patent on it, especially if you think that there is some commercial application to it. You do not need a functioning prototype in order to apply for a patent. You don't need to build one out. all you need to do is be able to describe how to build it so that somebody with somebody who has skill in that relevant area of technology so that they could build it without undue experimentation. So a lot of times you'll just see descriptions, you'll see those wire diagrams, where information goes in here and it comes out here and then it's processed this way and it goes that way. Or just drawings, but you don't need to build out a prototype. A lot of people get confused by that. Once you have a patent, you'll generally have a couple of options. One is you could go out and start making and selling those products yourself. If that's in the software space, that means developing the software. If it's, a widget, that means hiring a factory somewhere to start making these devices for you. A lot of times that's a lot of work. So what a lot of patent owners want to do is they decide that they want to license their IP. So what they do is, if you've got a patent on a new type of widget, you find a company out there that's selling things that are similar to your widget. You make a presentation saying why your widget would be a great addition to their product line. You have them sign an NDA. You discuss with them what value your patent brings. And you say, if you want to start making widgets, I'd gladly license my patent to you. And in exchange, I want royalties. And royalties could take a couple of forms. It could just be a lump sum payment. They'll pay you $100,000 a year to make as many widgets as they want. It could be a per unit. I get 25 cents per widget. You could say, I get 25 cents per widget, but you promise me that you'll make and sell at least 1 million of them per year. It could really go kind of all over the board. The third way to monetize your patents is, let's say you've got a patent, some time goes by, and then all of a sudden somebody's out there selling a product that's disclosed in your patent application and claimed therein. Then all of a sudden you hire a patent lawyer and you write a letter and you say, hey, I think your product's really cool. Unfortunately, I think it practices all the elements of claim 1 of my patent. I'd love to talk with you about obtaining a license so that you could keep going forward doing this stuff. Don't make me get my lawyers involved. And a lot of times those folks will come around and they'll write a big check so that they could continue with their business. I guess one other word of caution, since I mentioned software, a lot of the patent applications that have been coming across my desk over the last 5-8 years have been software patents. Hey, I developed an app so that, this thing that everybody used to do, pencil and paper, now you can do it on your phone. Those types of patent applications used to get better treatment from the Patent and Trademark Office maybe 10 years ago. But since then, the landscape has changed and those patents aren't issuing these days because of new guidance under what is and is not patentable. So if you guys come up with a new app or a new software, talk with your lawyer, see if there is anything patentable in there, but you might be looking more at copyright protection for that. And I guess while we're talking about software, I'll loop back to copyright. We talked about how you shouldn't just grab blog posts or pictures from online, because in doing so, you'll be infringing somebody's copyrights when you post it on your own site. Another thing I want to talk about is, how do you get somebody else to generate content for you? Let's say you hire an intern or an independent contractor and you say, go out and take pictures of all these houses and post them online, or please write up descriptions for these products. The way copyright works is generally the right to that work of authorship vests in the person who is the author, the person who took the picture, the person who wrote the blog post. And if you're hiring somebody to do it, you don't want them to own it. You want to own it. So for that, you'll need a written agreement with that person, that states that what they're doing for you is a work for hire, or if that's not a viable option, just to say that, in exchange for the money that you're going to pay them, they assign all right, title, and interest in any copyrights that might arise from the work that they're performing for you. All right, so we touched on patents. We looped back around to copyrights. Let's let me catch up on questions. All right, specific way of doing business or specific manufacturing idea. So this, which is Philippe's question, is It's kind of at the intersection of trade secret and patents. You can get patents on, they're called method patents. And it's usually how to make something. You know, if you're, a good example is, you know, if you're building microchips, a lot of times it's not just the components that are there, but it's the method of how you put them together and in what order and how you do everything. There are also business method patents. So if you are truly coming up with a new way of doing business or a new way of manufacturing something, a process patent could be a viable path. The other way to do it is if it's a specific method of manufacturing and it's not really obvious from inspecting the product how you put it together, trade secret. I'll go back to the Coca-Cola example. The recipe for Coca-Cola is probably the most famous trade secret in the United States. It's kept in a vault. Very few people know it. Anybody could drink Coca-Cola and you could probably run it through some chemical analysis machine and figure out what's in there. But the actual method of making it, yeah, lots of sugar. But the actual method of making it is protected as a trade secret. So specific way of doing business or specific manufacturing idea, yeah, look into, you know, a method patent or protected as trade secret. John's question, what's the most direct approach with an idea of a product to bring it to life? So if you have an idea for a product, what you probably, if you want to pursue the patent route, what you do is you contact a patent lawyer, you talk with them kind of in depth. You'll probably have to give them a big write-up of what the product is, what problems it's solving, why you think this is a useful invention, why are people going to buy it? Why did you bother to come up with this? Why is what's out there right now not good enough? And by asking those questions, you'll kind of get to the heart of what is the novel, non-obvious inventive concept there. You'll hire an artist to do some formal drawings. You'll file a patent application. Once your patent application's on file, that's probably when you either want to start taking steps to secure sourcing for manufacturing or to identify potential licensees. A lot of times that's just done on the internet. You know, if you're making something that goes well with, like, I don't know, I'm taking the family camping next weekend. So let's say you came up with a new camping tool. That's when you reach out to, you know, REI or Coleman, or, you know, you just find the relevant players in the industry and you reach out to them. A lot of times you might get phone calls from companies like Invent USA, or I don't know what they're called, but there are companies that'll say, you know what, if you give us $10,000, we will put together a presentation and do a roadshow and try to find licensees for you. You know, that could work, or you could do the legwork yourself, or you in conjunction with a lawyer could start sending out licensing letters and just see if you get any interest. That's also a good time to start mining your contacts and say, hey, does anybody that I know, do they have any contacts in the sourcing or purchasing department at Costco or Walmart or whatever, and trying to gin up interest that way. Damon's question, would it be under copyright infringement if you use a well-known idea but make your own content in your own words? That's a question where sort of the devil is in the details. I'm sure, as you all know, there are certain like dramatic tropes. You know, there are certain storylines that have been used from like Shakespeare to Star Wars, and they just keep recycling those same kind of general plot arcs over and over. You're not going to get in trouble if you use, you know, a pretty normal plot arc, but the closer you get to the original content, you know, the tougher it's going to be. Like, hey, there's a little kid, he discovers he has magical powers. He goes to a school to learn to use his magical powers. At that point, you're probably fine. If the kid's a wizard and the school sounds like Hogwarts, and, you know, the closer you get to the original content, the closer you're getting to a copyright infringement. But broad plot strokes are generally fine.
Ooh.
All right, I just talked for an hour.
Yeah, nice going. Oh my God, what do you guys think about this? Good information or what?
Man, this was amazing, Adam. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Adam. This is amazing. Also, yes.
I hope it helps you guys. If you have more specific questions, Claude has my contact info.
Why don't you, would you like to put it in the text, or
Yeah,
if someone like to contact you for some trademark or patent consultation or advice or registration? Oh, wow, that was fast. You were ready.
nah, I just copied and pasted my signature block.
There you go. Hey, everybody, a round of applause or a thumbs up here for Adam Garson here. Good stuff. Absolutely. Oh, I made a mistake before. Damon Boudreau, do you see him there? He's actually in Louisiana. Damon, you're not far from Tulane, are you?
I'm in Lafayette.
Okay,
Uh,
closer than San Diego, but yeah.
Absolutely. Do we have we got 1 minute left. Any last minute who wants to end on a high note? One last minute question. Otherwise, we're going to let Adam go here. He's been very, very generous with his time. Lawyers bill by the, do you bill by the hour, or the minute, or the second? How does it work?
We bill by the 10th of an hour. So I live my life in 6-minute increments.
I've got a quick one, Claude.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, thanks. Do domain names fall into this area? Most of us have registered domain names, and I get these things from these phony companies. I'm saying, you didn't register your domain name. Well, I've either got it with SiteGround or GoDaddy or something. So I know there must be scams out there that try to get no domain. And do they need to be trademarked or anything, or are we all covered with the domain registration?
You've got your domain name. It's registered with GoDaddy or whomever. A lot of those entities, they're saying, if you decipher their letters, what they're asking you to do is to pay them to either lock up those domain names or try to shut down, your domain.cn in China. It's pretty much all spam. In terms of whether or not you need to trademark your domain name, generally not. The brand, for example, is Amazon. It's not www.amazon.com. They're anti-cyber squatting lawsuits, that prevents individuals from trying to lock up domains from actual companies. But yeah, it's kind of a weird overlap right there.
Makes sense.
Very good. I hope, listen, thank you so much, Adam. You were a great man. I really appreciate you being too generous with your time. And thank you so much for joining us today on the Monday group call. This was great stuff. Thank you.
No problem. You all have a great day and a great week.
Take care, everybody.
Listen, thank you.
All right. I'm going to sign off.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We had a nice big group here. I'm occasionally going to invite experts, people like Adam, because, this business is about getting people who have superior specialized knowledge. Adam works on this stuff every day. I'm going to have my financial advisor here, I believe, in April. And in May, we're going to have somebody else. Every now and then I want to get the top people in certain fields to share business knowledge with us. So thank you, everybody. Let's do 1 minute. Anybody have a burning question before we go? Anything I can help you with? Any question you wanted to ask before we go? Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye and have a great week. Go for it.
Hey, Claude, are we still on for that offer or no?
What what offer? Go ahead.
Oh, we just, what we discussed on the weekend, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't going to do that, but go ahead. 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, no, thanks for the opportunity, Claude. I appreciate that. I just love a fantastic muscle car. Like, I love the sounds and I love so this weekend I'm holding a free workshop where we're taking a look under the hood, and we're going to look at some of the fine tuning and the metrics that can help you double your sales. Of the seven and 8 figure sales machines. That's where we're going to be looking under the hood of 7 and 8 figure sales machines. If you'd like some information or would like to register, you can email me at jason@sales747.com. I'll put that information in the chat for those who might be interested. And Claude, once again, I appreciate you taking on Andre today, it was a fantastic call, and for the opportunity here today. I appreciate that. Thanks, Claude.
Yeah. What are you going to talk about? Basically, what's the title or topic you're going to do next Saturday?
That's correct. We're going to be looking at fine tuning and doubling sales by looking under the hood of 7 and 8 figure sales machines. So
what do you mean? Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to it. Make sure you put your link or contact information in there so people can join. That's this Saturday or next Saturday? 2 weeks or this week?
This Saturday, Claude.
Sounds good, man. Put your stuff in before we go. Anybody else have a quick question? We're going a little over today, but that's okay. Great question. You guys, I'm proud of you. Super questions to a patent trademark attorney. I was very impressed by the quality of the questions you guys were asking. I mean, Adam charges a lot of money. Okay. So you took full advantage of it. Good for you guys. Okay. So I appreciate it. Anybody else before we go? With that, then I'll wish everybody have a great week, make some money, have some fun. I'm going to be back in San Diego and on or before April 10th, just to let you know, a little time change. And have a good week, everybody. Take care. Oh, don't miss Wednesday. Justin Chamness role playing on Wednesday on the group, and it'll be posted in the Skype group too. Make sure you practice. Okay. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Claude.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Let's get a little good music here. Let's what do we want for dinner tonight? Meatloaf.